Alright, we're back at it again. This time for One Piece, chapter 1152, titled An Awful Day. It's been about 2 weeks, if I'm correct, I think, roughly, since our last chapter. I think I dropped the last video on the 6th. It's now the 21st, so it's been a little over 2 weeks. I'm a little behind on getting this out. I wanted to get it out yesterday. That's when I believe it did come out. Today's Saturday for me, so I think it came out yesterday, Friday, or late Thursday night. Been a little busy, though, with work. So let's get into the chapter and see what we got. Should be fun stuff. We left off with the Monster Trio and that group and the New Giant Warrior Pirates in the Underrealm, I guess is what we'd call it, like the Underworld. And they were, Chopper had just fallen down with Scopper, and they had gotten him some medical assistance, and they felt Emu's Conqueror's Haki, or Moo's Conqueror's Haki, rather. And they were on their way back, or they were planning to make their way back up, is what Hyrodine had said, that, Elbaf is in trouble, and they've got to go do something. So, I imagine we're gonna have some time there. I don't think we left there for a while to come back to see that, and then we're gonna leave there again for a couple chapters. So, but we might also see what's going on in the Sun Realm, and actually see what's going on there too, because now we don't know what's exactly happening right there. My guess would be a little bit of both. Oda likes to throw some random stuff in, so maybe we'll get something crazy too, like going on somewhere else. Maybe like an update on Garland going back to Marie Joie, or what's happening in Marie Joie, or I don't know, maybe we can cut back to Shamrock. Yeah, one of Shamrock or Garling, you know what I mean? Be kind of cool. But anyways, let's get into it. Oh, let's not forget about Yamato. She just beat up the Yokozuna, the last one. This is volume 36, delivery complete. Kawamatsu, Daimyo of Hakumai, receives Otama's hat. Wow. How great. Ain't that just awesome? And Ulti and Page 1 are like they're clapping and like being like nice to Kawamatsu, who was once their enemy. It's so awesome. Oh, Yamato's a lot bigger than they are. Anyways, now we cut to the notes. Bread is too delicious. Caldi's toast spreads and laugh packs are so good. It's honestly becoming a problem. Nice. Good for Oda, liking his bread and snacks. We're back in the Underrealm. Let's hurry to the lift. Gerd, we'll have this sack of filth. We'll leave this sack of filth in your care. Got it, she says. Be careful. I shall dedicate all my might to this, Gerd Tasso. And this is Road hopping in the lift with Stanson, and Road is heading over. Hyrodine, move it. Let's get going. I'd better stay too, Luffy. Yasan's wounds are too severe. We can't move him yet. Got it. I'll leave it to you. Man, after that awesome scene and Chopper realizing how important it was, now he had to go, right, to handle this and save him, he doesn't even get to go back up and fight now. I wanted to see my boy the Chop put in some work. But now we cut to Scopper, or Yasan, saying, hey, Straw Hat Luffy, be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's Haki. Those guys are by no means immortal. And he's like, huh? Thanks. You can count on me. I'll save Colin and his friends, no matter what. Loki goes to sit up. Gyabon, that just made it click for me. I wasn't able to put it into words before. ... My own power ... I'm the only one left who's faced these knights before. I know I can beat them. Free me and take me with you, Hyrodine. You? Fighting for Elbaf, he says? Like I'd ever take you with us. There's another in your group who uses Conqueror's Haki. ... He looks over. Sanji, is it me? It's not going to be you, Sanji. I knew it. With how things were going, Mosshead and Jinbei were about to usurp me. You there, swordsman. Your body seems to be growing accustomed to it. I have Conqueror's Haki? What? You didn't know? It's been oozing off of you, says Luffy. He just has dots. Scopper is like, man, who taught you? They're a fucking buddy. What kind of a dick didn't teach you about Conqueror's Haki? How absurd. Haki is a power that must be understood and tamed. Your captain is one of the 4 emperors. You should be meticulous if you intend to have his back. Zoro sweating. Shit, dude. My bad. I didn't know. Sanji. Hey, old man. What about me? Hyrudine, you're pathetic. You'd rather sit back and let these outsiders save our homeland? I'm right here. Use me. ... And Sanji's sitting there. It looks like Sanji's yelling that same thing. Who's to say you won't side with the government? You could easily stab Elbaf in the back again. Just like you did on that day. How can you expect me to trust you? And this is Loki. He's got snot coming out of his nose. I think he's upset. Hyrudine, hurry. We can't let the casualties pile up anymore. Hey, Loki. Join my crew. If he does, then you can't complain if I free him, right, Hyrudine? Huh? Get real, Luffy. There's no way we'd fit him on the ship. Yeah, think of the food supplies. He eats even more than you do. Elbaf doesn't seem to want him, but he seems okay to me. Besides, if he tries anything, I can always beat him up. Don't mess with me, you runt. There's no way I'm becoming your underling, ... says from Luffy. You're going off your gut, huh, Straw Hat? I can't wait to see how he fights. Hyrudine, what are you doing? The lift's ready to go. I'm coming now. Sorry, Straw Hat. Loki is a condemned criminal on Elbaf. I can't just hand him over to you. Really? Hyrudine, release Loki. What? What was that, Yasan? 14 years ago, Loki murdered 113 members of the Castle Guard. He left Elder Jarl at the brink of death, killed his own father in cold blood. He's the worst criminal your country's ever known. This is going to be like an Itachi Uchiha situation where he did it all for good. I know, but on that day, I felt a strange emanation of Haki coming from outside, coming from Quest Castle. Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, ... It's possible we didn't have the whole story. You went to the castle? What did you just say? Shanks? Stanson, I'm sorry. Go ahead without me. Zoro, Sanji, I'll catch up in a bit. This dumb Shanks thing again. Hey, don't call Shanks dumb. He means you're the dumb one. Gabon. Hyrudine, who else can get him talking? You may have had different mothers, but you're still brothers. You have 3 minutes to explain, Loki. Tell me what happened in the castle 14 years ago. If you truly consider yourself a warrior of Elbaf, swear on our gods that what you say is the truth. That's cruel, brother. You really want me to relive that day? ... from Gabon. I don't want to remember. It was awful. Look up in the sky. And it looks like Loki coming down. 14 years ago. Elbaf, Quest Castle, Dogahaha. Oh, it's Loki. Prince Loki's returned. Elder Jarl just arrived too. He summoned you too, Loki? Something like that. This is my family's home, you know. You seem well, old man. You haven't grown sick of life yet. Quiet, you. The king is in the audience chamber. Are they that big compared to other giants? I wonder what he wants. It's hard to care about the whims of a government dog. He sold out to the people who killed Rocks. If that's the direction Elbaf's heading, then I'll oppose it. You're being loud. I'm too old for this stuff. Politics is a young man's game. We're in this mess because you keep spouting that kind of nonsense. Now we've got a whole generation of peace-addled brats who can't even hold a weapon. That's just a sign of the times. It's nice to know that my great-great-grandchildren won't see combat. They want peace. Coward. It's your duty to whip them into shape. What's that sound? It's coming from the throne room. Thank you for coming, Elder Jarl. Yeah, but the sound, I can't read it. It's in Japanese. Loki. I mean, young master, it's a pleasure to have you back. Of course. Well, let me just consult with the king. He summoned me, and this is my home. Open up, idiot. Ah, young master, violence is as he steps on him and breaks the door. Old man, I'm back. And as he's saying, I'm back. Your Majesty! They're all, like, stabbing him? What the heck? What? Harald? What the hell are you doing? Says Loki. They're both like freaking out. And then it cuts to Realm of the Sun, Gabon's house. Wow, what a nice house. What a staggering view. This is the best, right? Ha ha ha. It's been quite a while since we've shared a bath. How long's it been? 3, maybe 4 years? Get real. It's been 10 years since the captain died. That long, huh? That must feel like forever ago to you, huh? Yeah, and this is Gabon and Shanks talking. Oh my god! Guys, Shanks has a tattoo on the arm that he had eaten. I don't know what year this puts it at, but this is before he lost the arm for Luffy, so this is when, in theory, he should also still have a straw hat sitting somewhere. He doesn't have it on, but he's in the bath, so they're naked. That means he is a celestial dragon, for sure. We don't know if that was... He was gotten as a baby, though, so that was either put on him as a baby, or some at one point went back and he was given that, and that I think is what they use on their arms. Isn't that what Summers has? That's how they use the, what they're calling, like the Void or whatever it's called. So Shanks did have those powers, and now he doesn't, I would guess, since he lost that arm. Wow. Yeah, life's completely changed. I honestly just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. Still, Elbaf, there are some things I'd like to know. So he wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy back when he was a kid. Kind of like what Luffy wants to do other than being the king of the pirates, which is like, you know, he wants to just be a pirate and have fun, go on adventures. And that's what Shanks wanted to do with Buggy. And I think that's still what he does, just without Buggy, because him and Buggy had to part ways. Because Shanks can't just have fun and do what he wanted to do. He now has to do something different. There are some things I'd like to know. Understandable. You were a child of destiny. But let's not dwell on tricky topics today, Shanks. Say, remember Little Garden, the island where we met Dory and Broggy? Of course. Wow, he's like seasons. He's got black and gray hair. Hot enough, Yasan? Shane-kun? Whoa, you scared me. Shane-kun. Bahaha. It's great. Thanks, Ripley. This bot really is the best. So this is what a human giant household is like. Have some lingonberry tart and help yourself to drinks. Shane-kun, got any juicy old stories about Yasan? About Gyabon-san? Oh, I've got one. Anytime we made it into a port city, there were who knows how many. Ouch, you brat. If you want to make it out of this country alive, you'll zip it. Do you know Harald? He's the king of Elbaf. The people think of him like a god. Yeah, I met him at Marie-Joie. We got along alright, so he wasn't Marie-Joie. We couldn't speak freely in the Holy Land. Now that we're both in this country, I really want to talk to him before it's too late. Man, we haven't seen him with the hat, but he should still have the hat. That day, the massacre at the castle took place. Elbaf's most beloved king, Harald the Benevolent, lost his life. What's this? Let us out. Who closed the gate? Help! Boom, blood splattering, sword going through the head. Isn't that Jarl? Elder Jarl! Chains being broken. This is the forbidden devil fruit passed down within Elbaf. But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? I'm sorry. Let me go back and... It's kind of hard to understand what's happening here. But at the castle, let us out. Who closed the gate? Help, says somebody. Boom. Jarl gets a sword put through his head. We see chains getting broken loose, assumedly off of this treasure chest or off of a door. Then it says, this is the forbidden devil fruit passed down within Elbaf. And then the narrator says, after Harald the Benevolent lost his life, but just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? A long time ago. 109 years before the present day. If you asked anyone what the scariest thing on the sea is, the answer would always be the same. The giant warrior pirates. That was how things were in that era. And we see Dory, Bragi, Oimo, Kashi. In that age, even ships from the land of giants. It's a giant ship evoked immense fear due to Elbaf's reputation. I heard there's a beautiful princess in your castle. Let's have a peek. Oh, wow. He was one of the reasons for said reputation. Whoops, my foot slipped. Your Majesty, please stop this, as he's kicking somebody through the entire castle with all those people in it. King Harald of Warland Elbaf. Harald began his reign at 45 years of age, just 15 in human terms. Despite this, King Harald, remarkably enough, was pure scum. Go on, tell me who your god is. The untold story of Elbaf's renowned ruler. Well, when he was young, he looked cool. Actually, well, Harald just looked cool in general, but he's acting like a prick. Wild. Well, we're going to start getting the backstory on Harald. Wonder how long it's going to be. Interesting. So that's kind of cool. I'm curious. We're going to find out what the heck that devil fruit is at some point. The forbidden devil fruit that Loki ended up getting. We're going to end up seeing how the sword went through Jarl's head. Shanks' tattoo. Interesting enough. So Loki's just a lot like his dad was back in the day. He's a bit of a prick. Interesting. Well, getting back up, yep, Loki is definitely going to end up getting to come with us. He's going to get some redemption with his brother. And what I even told my brother was going to happen is inevitably one of Harudin or Loki is going to get in the middle of the Dami Reversi and get ready to get flipped. One of them, the other one is going to see it, or they're both going to know how it works and get caught anyways. But one of them will get caught, and the other one will save them. That one will turn bad, who then gets caught saving the other one, right? My thought is it would make, you would initially might think, well, Loki, it'd be cool if he actually saved his brother Harudin, because we can tell he's actually a good guy. And he, like, at least that's what I believe, and he cared about his brother and his family. He was a bit of a prick, but he does care about them, right? But he's just kind of like a tsundere in that sense, and doesn't really show his feelings the normal way, right? But then, when you think about it like that, then Loki becoming Damir Verseed is really scary for us, and I don't know how we'd handle it. That would be pretty interesting, but that could happen. Or Harudin could instead, now because he's been the one who hates his brother, have a change of the kind of change of heart and show, look, even though I know you did this bad stuff, and especially now that I know that you did it for good reason, I do care about you, and that's why he goes to protect Loki and push him out of the way. And then when he does that, Harudin ends up in it. Boom, he gets flipped. Harudin evil, much easier beaten. And I don't think it'd be weird for the story, but what I'm thinking is then, since Elbaf in general, Loki's gonna end up being a pirate again inevitably, like he was sailing the seas before. So maybe he'll take over for Harudin and become the new leader of the giant warrior pirates while Harudin stays evil, assuming he stays evil for any amount of time. Interesting. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Good panels, good scenes. I like the gags in this chapter. Sanji being like, old man, what about me? It's me. I'm right here. It's me. And then Zoro still being like, I have Conqueror's Haki? Like, bro, you didn't know? Like, the anime has made it pretty apparent, at least, that you have it. The manga's made it pretty clear, too, but... And Sanji saying, I knew it with how things were going. Mossad and Jinbei were about to usurp me. Yeah, Sanji, because you're lacking, my dog, and you're supposed to be Scopper, which is where I'm really wondering if that's why Scopper... Because the dynamic's the same. Scopper is, like, kind of talkative and fun and silly. He definitely reminds me more of the Sanji style of, like, dynamic on the crew than Zoro, who is more like Rayleigh, the smart, though not always intelligent, because Zoro's very combat, battle IQ heavy, and he's not ignorant. He just only knows certain stuff. But what he knows, he's good at, right? And like reading a scene or reading kind of the mood. You know what I mean? He's intelligent in that sense. And Rayleigh's like that too. Rayleigh's just a lot more versed and generally intelligent because that just seems to be more of his thing. But if I had to bet when Zoro hits his prime, he'd probably end up being stronger than Rayleigh in his prime based on just how their characters are built. And Zoro is more built around being strong and strength, and being a strong swordsman is what he wants. While Rayleigh seems to just want a normal life. That's what he seemed to always kind of want, just to do his thing. Just relax, have fun, do whatever he wants. That's why being a pirate worked well for him. So, it's interesting. And that Scopper knew that, of course, because him and Luffy can both just feel the aura just pouring off of him. And that Loki has it too, I guarantee, which is why he wants him to go as well. Because that way at least 3 of them will be able to damage those guys. And now that I'm thinking about it, we have 3 Gods Knights, don't we? We have Killingham, we've got Summers, and we've got Mu. Yes, so we actually do need to bring Loki, and he is also going to be a Conqueror's Haki user. That Yasan or Scopper already knows about, and that's why he wants him to take him, because that would give them 3 versus 3. So, assuming that would be the case, we would assume Luffy, of course, has to fight Mu. Right? So, Zoro's fighting who? Summers? I would think that would probably... Actually, yeah. And then maybe Loki fights Killingham? I don't know. I mean... Did anybody have a sword? Did Summers or Killingham? Summers had a sword. So maybe Zoro fights Summers, yeah. And Loki goes to fight Killingham, and... I don't know. That'd be the... I don't really see exact lineups other than Luffy has to fight Emu. But either way, there's lots of other people to fight. There's all the nightmare creatures, and then there's the giants all turning evil. But I think that's what a lot more of the regular giants who are still good, and the rest of the Straw Hats are going to need to figure out how to handle. The Sanjis and people, and the other, the new giant warrior pirates, the Rhodes, Danson, and Goldberg. They all have to do something, right? So, and what's left of the regular giant warrior pirates, and then any of the other just giants in general are going to try to help because they want to save their kids. The mothers, we saw them on their way. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's going to be how it plays out. And once we free the Straw Hats, they'll be cooking regular giants, like even the upgraded ones, like the normal ones. Maybe not Dory and Bragi. If Oimo and Kashi get flipped, they seem to be the next strongest, I'd guess. So maybe they would be a bit of a problem, but they seem to be a humongous step down from Dory and Bragi. So it's definitely an interesting chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. We're not going to be on break. We're clearly going to continue with this backstory or the flashback of King Harald. Don't know if it's going to be all that. Probably not. I would like to believe we're not going to have any more Odin level flashbacks in the story. Other than I would still like a Roger / God Valley, one of these kinds of flashbacks that are like of depth, especially Roger. Old day flashback of depth that isn't just Odin on Whitebeard's ship, because that was awesome, but I'd like to see something with Roger involved, you know what I mean? And I think we're going to get towards that at the end of the story. So I don't think we're going to have any other long flashbacks. I don't remember how long Odin's was, but I know it was relatively long. It was as long. His flashback, right, his whole thing was longer than I think old like arcs in like the East Blue, and some of the old arcs in general, and especially so, like Long Ring Long Land and stuff like that, too. I believe his flashback was just longer than the serialization or than, like, the chapters from those arcs. So, I don't think we're going to get anything like that. We haven't built Harald to be really that same way. We have built him up to be cared about by his people. And the backstory with Loki killing him, and we know that there's something twisted. So it's kind of what I don't like about it, in a sense. Not that I don't like it, but I guess what feels reused is that's exactly what they did with Odin, but they fleshed it out so deeply in Wano. With Odin is beloved by the people. Oh wait, some of the people hated him at this point because of the stupid dancing thing, but really he did that for a reason, and we didn't know that until after the backstory, until we're seeing the backstory anyways. So like, there's just so much to it. Well, I don't think we're gonna have near that much with Harald. I hope we get something of depth, because the more depth we get to his character, we care more about him. We'll care more that he gets killed by Loki, who will also truly care about him because he knows the same things about Harald and who he was. So the more we feel for Harald's death, the more we feel for Loki feeling for Harald's death. So that builds his character. So I think for Oda to do a good job, he's going to have to flesh out Harald and make us feel for him and care about him. That way it'll make Loki's caring about him and having his trouble killing him mean more, and that will build Loki's character up too. Which will also help with Haradin, because they're going to have to accept one another. So. Maybe he'll join the new Giant Warrior Pirates under Haradin. After Haradin's, I'm telling you, one of them is going to get Dami Reverse. I'm pretty sure Oda's aiming for that. But we'll cut it there. It's been a little bit of a longer reaction. Like I said, though, good chapter. We should be back next week. So hopefully around the 27th, 28th, 26th, we'll get a chapter. And it should be fun. It should be good. I mean, we're getting to where we're going to get into fun stuff here soon. Like the actual fights and like more climax. Maybe not climax, but like the in stages, like the in battles, like getting towards that. Kind of like the raid on Onigashima. We're not there yet. We kind of started some stuff, but we're not really there, because now we have the backstory, and we have to get everybody up there, and then once we're all up there, we have to figure out where we're all going and what all needs to be done, like how we're going to solve the problems. So it should be fun. It should be a good chapter, but I think we're going to be, like I said, in the flashback for most of, if not all of it, and maybe for a few. I would not mind, we'll call it 5 to 10 chapters of flashback if he can build it to be good, because what I do like about it is that it's way in the past. So this is like they said, what was that, 109 years ago? Was that 109 years ago? 14 years ago was at the castle, and then 109 years from the present story. Isn't that what it says? 109 years before the present story. That's like how old Dr. Kreha is, right? Actually, I think she's older than that. So it's like old. Like before Brooks' day, right? Like way back in the day. We don't know a lot about these different time periods, 100, 200, 300 years ago in One Piece. So it's really fun when we get anything in those times where we can actually see something that was happening in the world. Definitely puts in perspective why the Giants were feared, though, and why Elbaf was feared. And then we get there and it's all nice and peaceful. But compared to back in the day, this is why people were so scared of them. Jeez. Wild. But yeah, we'll cut it right there. So I'll be back in a week. I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everybody's had a good day. I hope everybody has a good week and a good day to come. I appreciate anybody who gets the chance to go through and watch these, even just click on them. Anything, it really does. It at least motivates me to want to do more, I will say. I'd like to get out other stuff at some point, but with how busy I am right now, reactions seem to be the easiest, but I'll find something else I can start releasing or streaming. So again, I appreciate it. I hope everybody's had a good day, good week. I hope everybody has a good day and a good week to come, and I'll be back around for chapter 1153. I'll see you guys later. Bye.